Adam Young, Russ Bradford with you. Home game for the Aggies here in El Paso. It's their conference home opener. Third game in 7 days for the Aggies after a stretch with just one game in 28 days. It's been an interesting year, to say the least, for that man, Chris Jans, and his program.
Well, and he'd had his 31-game win streak interrupted at Grand Canyon. But, boy, he's intense, and I know that all coaches are probably chomping at the bit, but I can't imagine anyone who's been more disrupted than Chris Jans.
He was talking at his weekly press conference on Monday about having a home game, and he said, well, it's in El Paso. I love the facility. Everybody has been so helpful, but it's probably going to feel like a neutral site game because the Lancers haven't been there either. We haven't really been there. They did practice once this week, but in Chris Jans' eyes, he felt like this weekend, and even going forward here, it's going to feel like neutral site games.
I think that's right, but it's all he can do, and he's pretty good at it. He's been pretty good at adapting. When remember last year when there was all those injuries and the Aggies kept winning anyway.
And they've had their fair share of injuries again this year with Henry and Rice. There's a point-blank miss for Thomas. Rebound for Tillman, who averages 7 to lead the Aggies per game this year. Rice swings it for Johnny McCants, looking down low for Tillman. The Aggies could use some interior scoring this week, and they really haven't had that yet this year. High-low feed is mishandled by Tillman, and it's poked out of bounds by Reed Nottage. It will stay with the Aggies with 9 to shoot.
Well, Johnny McCants tried to get it inside and almost turned it into an easy basket, but Aggies got the ball back.
Tillman going to work on Nottage. A little bit of a mismatch there. Nottage giving up an inch or two. The Canadian Rowell fires it, a bullet pass to Nottage. Might have been tipped by Johnny McCants.
I would imagine so, because normally he'd swish that one. I think McCants must have got a piece of that.
Lancers like to catch and shoot in transition. Quick releases for all their three-point shooters. Backdoor feed to Rice. Good find by Donnie Tillman.
Well, the Aggies have been able to get layup after layup. If they can just get going a little bit from the outside, I think they could take over this first half.
Remember, the Aggies have been under 40% in 4 straight games from the field. Right now they're shooting 56%. That's an awfully good sign.
And did you see Ty? Now, looks like CBU in a zone here, but did you see Ty Rowell? That was a left-handed 12-footer, which seems not to be. But I watched him come out here an hour and a half before the game and worked on nothing but left-handed bank shots. And then there it was in the game, and it paid off for him.
21-21, 8:50 left here in the first half. That's a long 2 for Tillman that misfires, and Gack couldn't corral it. A slight scoreboard malfunction. There's been so many things here at Eastwood High School the Aggies had to bring in this week. They had to take down the NCAA three-point lines. They had to bring in a shot clock because high schools don't have shot clocks. They had to bring in their LED boards, the sponsor signs. A number of things were added into this gorgeous facility here at Eastwood High School. And the crew at Eastwood has been magnificent during this whole process. There's Gack, fires ahead. No numbers for Carbone. He's in an attack anyway. That is a rare 2-point attempt for Mark Carbone in a 1-on-3 scenario, Russ.
Well, first it surprised me that he didn't shoot a 3, but it surprised me that he went ahead with it and he wound up drawing the foul. That's definitely 1-on-3. But Carbone made it paid off. A big gamble.
So he's only made 2 twos this year, but he has shot 11 free throws, which is rather interesting. He's made all 11. Now he's 12 out of 12. All the way from Wethersfield, Connecticut. Transferred in from New Hampshire. He started his career at San Diego. And Rick Roy will not play many reserves. Mark Carbone is one of the few subs that will come in. They usually only go 7 or 8 deep with their rotation. Henry, step back 2. That swishes in. So Clayton Henry's 2 of 2 from the field.
That was a pretty good Jabari Rice imitation. I'm joking, but that's a dimension that Clayton Henry brings. Is he can shoot the 3, he can get to the basket, but he can do the step back and pull up jumper.
Chris Jans was not worried about his team's offense when he talked this week about the shooting struggles so far this year. He said, we have guys who can make shots. Henry's one of them. There's a big block shot for Johnny McCants. Skip pass, a high one. A little too much juice on that one from Henry. Intended for C.J. Roberts. Should be a fun weekend here in El Paso. We are deadlocked at 23 in half one. Formerly known as the Husky Tower, opened up in 1968. I'm sure Clayton Henry has seen it numerous times in downtown Calgary. Used to be the tallest structure in Canada outside of Toronto. Our great producer, Graham Taylor, is from Canada. We have a couple players in this game from Canada. Ty Rowell, who's going to bring the Lancers out of the backcourt, and Clayton Henry. There's a pretty heavy Canadian connection here today in Eastwood.
Well, and there's all kinds of connections.
So there's your history lesson for the broadcast. How about that?
Well, and we've got the New Mexico State connections and UTEP connections all through Eastwood High School as well.
That was a rare 2-point attempt by Carbone. Gilliard was trying to thread the needle. He was on the same page there as Johnny McCants. I know it's early. It's only been 12 minutes plus, but the Aggies have been so much more active offensively in this game. We're tied at 23. Both teams have shot it pretty well. The Aggies above 50%. Lancers low for their standards at 40%. McCants working our GAC. And now Roberts is going to post up Carbone. Skip out to McCants. Only 4 to shoot for Lakai. McCants has to heave, and he buries the triple.
Well, anytime you can knock in a 3 at the expiration of the shot clock, it's a good break. Johnny McCants. And he's improved so much on his 3, hasn't he?
Yeah, 40% last year. Now, he was only 1 for 10 last weekend in the 2 games. Pull up for Armstrong. These Australians can shoot it from anywhere for the Lancers. Trey Armstrong from Tasmania, Reed Nottage from Sydney. Wing to wing to Gilliard. Back to the far wing, Clayton Henry. And Gack collects the rebound using his 6'11" length. Pick and roll, Rowell and Gack. Rowell the floater, Gack the tip in.
I wonder if Rowell missed that on purpose.
He may have.
He didn't hit the rim, and that's not. I think he did that on purpose and bounced it off the board for Gack.
You can do that when you have an active post player like Gorjak Gack who can kind of just go up there and get it. Typically for the Lancers, Gack is the only post player who will play. They usually go 4 guards, and he might not play right now because he has 2 personals. That's number 2, and that's a big second foul on Gack. So they're going to have to bring in number 21 in Navy. That's Malik Wade, the freshman from Brazil, who doesn't play a ton, but he's going to have to if Gack's in foul trouble. Ball reversal to Jabari Rice. Squares up on Armstrong. Outside for Henry. 2 to shoot from the elbow. Pinball's off. Grabbed by Wade. Catch and shoot 3. Trey Armstrong from beyond NBA range and then some.
We talked during the break, Adam, you and I, about Trey Armstrong is the only one without a picture-perfect shot, but it sure goes in like a picture-perfect shot.
Man, they can really shoot it from 3. 4 of 9 now are the Lancers from distance. Lancers lead the WAC in points per game, free throw percentage, made threes, and assists per game. They made 23s in their season opener, Russ, at USC. You're making 23s against a Pac-12 quality program, you're really doing something.
Boy, and they pounded Long Beach State, who has a long tradition of excellence. Aggie fans will remember. So I think these guys are serious shooters. And Rick Croy, the young-looking coach, who's won 300-something games, he's a real offensive wizard. So it's a heck of a matchup for the Aggies here.
You brought up earlier the regular season finale for the Aggies last year when they beat the Lancers by 33, and we were absolutely stunned for the entire 40 minutes because they were good last year. CBU, that is. Johnny McCants trying to tip it in. They're going to wave it off. That's basket interference on Johnny.
No, it was a 33-point win for the Aggies last year, and it wasn't as close as it sounds.
It was a 41-point lead at one point.
Well, it was close.
The Aggies going with Tillman, Gilliard, Henry, McCanty, and Rice. Nottage, Carbone, Armstrong, Rowell, and Wade for CBU, and that's a blocking foul. Count it, and one for Trey Armstrong.
Boy, they are tough, Adam, and again, all of their shooters are stocky, strong guys. They don't have a skinny guy on the team.
McCants was trying to take a charge just outside that restricted arc, which was taped down earlier this week. We'll get our second look at Marcus Watson, who comes in for the Aggies. One
of the things with McCants that's interesting is he'll block a shot or take a charge. Most big guys don't do both, but Johnny McCants is willing and able to do both. But he's out of the game now.
Trey Armstrong, 92% from the free throw line, first in the WAC.
And he's from Tasmania. And what's the news? The Tasmania news is that A.J. Harris from longtime Aggies going to Tasmania, it sounds like, to play. Part of Australia, of course.
Great news for A.J., and he does it during a time where it's pretty hard to sign a pro deal as Henry connects again from three. Clayton Henry, 2 of 3 from distance. He has 8 points.
Maybe we could get A.J. Harris to do the Aggies another favor and take Trey Armstrong with him back to Australia.
We get a foul away for the ball called on the Aggies. There seems to be, Russ, a lot of Australian connections on that California Baptist side on how they're getting so many guys from Australia.
Well, Adam, I think the answer is twofold. Is that Adam Jacobson, the longtime assistant, Aggie fans will remember him. He was a great player at Pacific.
Evan Gilliard splashes in a 3. Rick Croy will call a timeout. The Aggies say anything you can do, we'll try to match it. 6-0 Aggie run in El Paso. Adam Young along with the former Aggie assistant coach Russ Bradford from El Paso, where the Aggies are trying to collect their first conference win of the season. Lancers are 3-3 in the league, 8-5 overall. The overall mark for the Aggies, 3-3. Aggies lost both games last weekend. Lancers have won 5 of 6. And right now, both teams are heating up from the arc. Pretty high scoring first half here in El Paso. Gorjak Gak is in some foul trouble right now for the Lancers. He's on the bench with 2. And it will stay CBU ball. A couple made threes for Nottage, 1 each for Carbone and Armstrong. This is Armstrong, banks it in and 1.
Boy, Trey Armstrong is tough, the Australian, the Tasmanian.
Foul New Mexico State, number 5, Clayton Henry.
He just got bumped right in the air and still made the shot. Boop.
Henry was trying to avoid him, I think. That's 3 fouls on Clayton Henry. I'm not sure if the Aggies were aware he had 2, but now he has 3.
And I expect to see a lot of Marcus Watson now, the Oklahoma State transfer. No reason to not leave him in there at this point.
There's confusion, it looks like, on the Aggie bench. Either they're disputing he has 3 or they were unaware that he had 2 before the previous foul. Zone defense for the Lancers. Aggies saw a lot of zone in Phoenix last weekend. Struggled against it offensively. Henry will fire a three, and he gets another. Clayton Henry has 3 fouls, but he has 11 points. I think his shot is back, Russ.
Yeah, and gutsy move by Chris Jans to leave him in. He must have a hunch.
Reverse layup there for Wade, the freshman from Brazil, who only averages 3.5 points per game. Gilliard's open. Another made three for Evan Gilliard, his second tonight. We have ourselves a good old-fashioned shootout.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's good to see.
Rao picked up his dribble. Here's Wade in the low post. Shoots it over Tillman, and he scores. Malik Wade has been big with Gak on the bench with 2.
Yeah, that was a good Gak imitation, was what that was. I mean, this guy's going to be a good player, too.
Rick Roy has a couple of big-bodied freshmen, Malik Wade and also Tajon Sawyer, who we haven't seen yet. Donnie Tillman trying to stuff it in. He missed it a couple times. Rao crosses over on Henry. Henry had to be careful. He almost picked up his 4th.
And that's his second left-handed shot, Ty Rowell, boy. And again, Adam, he was out here working. He must have shot 100 left-handed shots before the game. Looks like he's banged his back a little bit there, though.
Marcus Watson to the rim, and he's pushed with 9 on the shot clock. Clayton Henry's had a good night. 3 made threes for Henry. He has 11. Evan Gilliard, a couple of made threes.
Yeah. When they get there, they got their legs under them, just good-looking shooters.
There's confusion again, and this is boiling over. Chris Jans just screamed he has 2 fouls. Right now, on the stat sheet, it has Clayton Henry down for 3. I saw on the most recent foul for Henry, David Anwar, one of the Aggie assistants, stormed off the bench and said he only has 2. So there is some clear-cut confusion right now at the scorer's table about the foul situation for Henry. Either way, I think he would take a seat, even if he has 2. You probably don't want him to get his 3rd, right?
I think that's right, except that the Aggies, you know, every now and then Chris Jans will roll the dice and gamble. But it might be a good time to get Marcus Watson some experience, get the cobwebs off his shoes.
Either way, Henry's on the bench, whether he has 2 or 3. Stat sheet still says 3, so they'll probably try to get that corrected if they can. If he only has 2, they'll try to fix that at the half. Step in 3, Marcus Watson. A little too long. His first collegiate field goal attempt. His first game in 701 days since his senior year of high school. Armstrong missed it shallow. There's Elijah Thomas, the grad transfer from St. Mary's. Couldn't put it back in. It's loose, and it's picked up by Jabari Rice. He's on the move into the front court. He trips over his own feet, I think. The hardwood monster got him.
Yeah, but I was going to say, Adam, that on those rare times when California Baptist does miss, the Aggies got to get the ball back. They can't give the California Baptist a second chance after a missed 3.
About a 4-second difference. Game clock, shot clock here in the first half. An entertaining first half here in El Paso. The Aggies shooting 50%. They have made 7 threes. Yet they trail by 3. Ty Rao will waits for a ball screen from Wade. The Canadian chucks it outside to Thomas. Only his 18th three-point try of the season. And possession will point to the Aggies with 6.5 seconds left.
Well, there it is. Aggies have to get the ball back after a missed three, and they almost didn't do it there, but they got the arrow, the possession arrow.
Who do you go to here?
Well, I think what we can expect is Gilliard to run it up and try and penetrate and find somebody open. Gilliard, remember there was a few games last year he can really race the ball. So watch him curl around here. He's going to come at the ball, I'll bet, and then curl around and get the ball going towards the basket right here. There he goes.
Chris Jans just brought in Gerald Dokes for the first time, and Gilliard is bumped by Freddie Dybala.
And it's not the bonus yet.
Nope.
Smart foul.
Yep, Lancers had a foul to give. That was foul number 6. The Aggies haven't scored in 2.5 minutes. And now Ty Rowell will come back in for Freddie Dybala. The freshman from California was just in to foul Gilliard when he was bringing the ball up the floor. A 3 contested for Rice. It's a brick. And that will do it for 1/2 of play.
Well, we were worried that the California Baptist would come out shooting, and they certainly did. What surprises me how strong and tough they are. They're not just good shooters, but they're smart players and tough guys. And if they keep getting offensive rebounds, it's going to be a long second half.
So a number of transfers, including Mark Carbone, who came in from New Hampshire.
Well, I think it speaks to the difficulty for Chris Jans is how do you tell your team, look, I know we beat these guys by nearly 40 points last year, but you've got to be really ready to play. Well, Rick Croy has them ready to play, and I know Chris Jans isn't surprised, but they've got something to prove here, Cal Baptist, and so far they've really shown well for themselves.
So during the halftime break, they checked on the Henry fouls. They changed his foul count from 3 to 2. They gave the other foul to Johnny McCants. That's why Will McNair is in right now. He was defending Gak, who makes the jump hook. So Johnny McCants is on the bench with 3. Henry's in the game. He now has 2. So that's an interesting adjustment. But now McCants is in serious foul trouble. And Will McNair is going to have to play a lot of minutes. Here's Henry. Push out, corner 3. Donnie Tillman has it, pinball off. Rice is active on the glass. Diving as Henry, he saved it in front of his bench, but he saved it right to CBU. Ty Rowell gets it back from Gak. Hounded by Gilliard, floats it over McNair. Who touched it? They're going to say Will did.
Maybe so. I missed that one. Ty Rowell is tough. Boy, he's smart. And look at what he was going to fake the behind-the-back pass maybe there.
Believe it or not, Rowell was actually recruited as a Division II player. Jumper is good for Nottage. CBU in the midst of a transition to Division I, their 3rd year. And Rowell, when he was going to CBU, it's when they were Division II at the time. So he's going through the entire transition.
I'd say he's gone through with flying colors, as has the entire Cal Baptist program.
The Aggies only have 2 to shoot. Rice has to hurry, fall away from the elbow, and he made something out of nothing.
I didn't think he was going to get that off in time.
11 for Rice. Here's Gak. Didn't play a ton in the first half. He has 2 fouls. He's going to square up on the redshirt sophomore McNair. No help. Bricked it. Good defense for Will McNair.
That was the first time Gak looked awkward. He's looked like an NBA prospect up until that shot.
Outside for Gilliard. He was hot in half 1, and he starts off hot in half 2.
And he actually, we've talked about this last year, Adam, you might remember, Evan Gilliard, for some reason, shoots better on the move and with somebody flying at him. Sometimes when he's just standing dead wide open, he actually doesn't shoot as well, which, of course, you'd rather have Gilliard doing what he's doing now, being able to shoot under pressure.
Gak on the roll and 1. There wasn't a whole lot of contact, but just enough. Foul on Donnie Tillman, his first, and Gak will look for the 3-point play.
And you can just see Chris Jans on the sideline yelling for where's the help on that one. Watch, it's just a little 2-man game there. a little two-man isolation and no help from the other Aggies.
Gak, a Florida grad transfer from Sydney, Australia. One of 3 Australians this year for CBU and head coach Rick Croy.
Well, you know, sometimes it just takes big guys a little bit longer, as we've seen with Will McNair. You know, Gak didn't play much at Florida. No. Now he looks like a guy who might have a long future.
And he's big, too. He's 6'11", really long and lanky. Donnie Tillman attacks, hands it off to McNair, and he dunks it one-handed with the big paw.
I thought he might break the rim off there. Nice pass by Donnie Tillman.
Those shot clocks were installed yesterday, so Will McNair just testing them out tonight. They're still rattling a tad. Elijah Thomas floats it in right over Donnie Tillman. The Aggies having some issues stopping CBU right now. On a night where the Aggies have shot 51% from the field, 8 of 17 from 3, they trail by 2 possessions. Gilliard to Henry. Late in the shot clock again. Stolen, then gotten back by Rice. Stuffs it out to Gilliard. No change in possession, and Gilliard didn't know it.
Well, I didn't know it either. I would have blown that one too. There wasn't a reset then, huh?
Yeah, the official said no change in possession. Evan Gilliard can't believe it. How about this dump off to Will McNair? Chris Jans could not have been shouting any louder to Evan Gilliard. He was trying to tell him shot clock was not resetting. Ty Rowell gets an angle, hands it off to Wade, and he missed it. Good look.
Aggie's got a big break there.
Wade had a good first half. Dangerous pass by Gilliard, and that's going to be Lancers basketball. Rare turnover for Evan Gilliard, who is second in the WAC in assist-to-turnover ratio. Lancers ball when you come back. Adam Young and Russ Bradford back with you here in El Paso at Eastwood High School. It's a 5-point Lancers lead, 50-45 here tonight. Same time, same place, same matchup tomorrow, Russ. This is 2 games in 24 hours. It is not easy.
I do not want to see any more of California Baptist. I'm happy to see this beautiful Eastwood High School gym, but California Baptist is here on a mission, and they're serious about it. And boy, they can shoot the ball, and with Gorjak Gak inside, they are really a force.
Gak with 13, 12 for Armstrong, both in double figures for CBU, 11 each for Henry and Rice for the Aggies, and Gilliard's right behind with 9. Johnny McCants on the bench, has not played in half 2. He has 3 fouls due to a foul chain during the halftime break. Henry went from 3 to 2, and McCants went from 2 personals to 3 personals. Ty Rowell maneuvers his way in the paint and banks it in. It's fun to watch him play.
Yeah, he's tough and smart, and look how thick he is. You know, he's strong, and he's a little bit quick. He's not a speedster, but he's got a great first step.
The Aggies missed Rowell last year as Gilliard misses his 3 short. He only played in 8 games a season ago because of a season-ending injury, so the Aggies never saw him in conference play. Henry for 3. McNair saves it to Henry. Good hands for the big man.
Yeah, big rebound for Will McNair.
The Aggies will get a third look at it. It's McNair who lays it in.
Well, McNair really establishing himself here, and he's got good hands, and he's a good passer, and he's thick and strong as well.
That could turn out to be a big possession in this game. Long floater about 10 feet away for the Tasmania native, Trey Armstrong. The Aggies saw Nottage and Armstrong last year, and both guys have improved a ton.
Yes, and now we see California Baptist in a zone.
Aggies did pretty well against the zone in the first half. Henry airballs the three, might have been touched. Elijah Thomas running the floor. He runs over Gilliard, who was inside the restricted arc, and one for the St. Mary's grad transfer.
Elvin Gilliard giving up about 6 inches there. But California Baptist could go up 10 if they make the free throw here.
The city of Las Cruces is committed to help get Doña Ana County from red to green in the Department of Health's Red to Green framework. Let's help our businesses, nonprofits, schools, healthcare system, and residents get back to a more normal way of life by staying home, wearing a mask, and getting tested. Share your commitment by using Red to Green on social media. Johnny McCants checks back in with his 3 fouls. His first action in this half, spins to his left, blocked by Gack, his 25th this year. Possession stays alive, though, for the Aggies. Gilliard to McCants, can't put it in, can't tip it in either. And now he will shoot 2.
Well, Johnny, a little bit frustrated there, but it was great effort and nice pass by Evan Gilliard. Watch Johnny, he's relentless, Adam. He just, watch him keep battling here. He doesn't get it to go in, but it's not from lack of effort.
And he's improved his free throw shooting a ton, 67%. Which for most people, Russ, may not seem like much, but for Johnny McCants, that's 18 percentage points ahead of his career average.
Yes, and I expect it to keep getting better. Our Oñate High School local guy.
McCants averaging 11 points, 7 rebounds per game, splits the pair. Carbone gets McCants in the air. Could have used that to his advantage and had Johnny pick up his 4th. Now the Aggies are in his zone. Long 3 for Armstrong. Thomas wrapped up with Henry, no call. Here's a 3 for Rowell, and there is a call. Gilliard fouls Ty Rowell on the 3-point try.
Boy, and that was a deep one. That was way too far to be fouling a guy on a 3. Well, we didn't see the... Well, Gilliard's not happy about it. He's continuing the discussion with the referee.
Kalen Williams will check in after this second free throw try for Rowell. A rare miss for him. He's 77%. Williams comes in for Gilliard. That was Gilliard's 3rd. So 3 on Gilliard, 3 on McCants. Nobody with more than 2 for CBU. So Rowell gets 2 out of it. The lead grows to 10. Biggest lead for CBU tonight. Danger zone right now for the Aggies, Russ.
I think that's right. I don't think California Baptist is going to beat themselves with dumb mistakes. They can make their free throws.
There's C.J. Roberts. He's only played 8 minutes. His first deuce. (58-50). Lancers ahead by 8. Rowell shuffles his feet and he travels with it.
Well, maybe the fresh energy of Kalen Williams and C.J. Roberts can disrupt the guards, because Ty Rowell's been terrific up to this point.
Kalen Williams will run the point for the Aggies as he brings NM State out of the backcourt. CBU changing up defenses a lot. Tillman operates out of the high post. Guarded by Armstrong, lays it in. Good move for Donnie Tillman.
Well, he's got about a 5-inch height advantage, and Tillman did the right thing there. Smart play by Donnie Tillman. So that's what I mean about the new energy at the guards, is maybe that can get things changed.
Henry threw it away in transition. Seemed like Tillman was open for a brief second, but it wasn't when Henry was trying to find him. But the Aggies have made it a 2-possession game. Under 12 left in half 2. NM State trailed by 3 at halftime. Now they trail by 6 here at Eastwood High School in El Paso. The Lancers have outscored the Aggies 17-14 here in this half. The Aggies shot the ball really well in the first 12 minutes or so of the game. Now it's the Lancers' rust here in half 2. The Lancers are 7 of 11 from the field so far in this half. It was Gack early, hasn't done a whole lot since, and he's ahead of the free throw line for 2 shots.
Well, he did what Donnie Tyndall did at the other end, Donnie Tillman did at the other end, is he saw he had Kalen Williams on him and about an 8-inch height advantage and just went to work.
And we'll take a media timeout again. This is the under 12. The previous one was the first call timeout in half 2. Gorjak Gack, the Florida grad transfer, shoots 2 when we come back. NM State playing their WAC home opener. The Lancers on the road after 6 straight home games, and CBU is looking for their first road win of the season. All 8 wins for California Baptist have been at home. CBU 8-5, 3-3 in the WAC. Aggies 3-3, 0-2 in the WAC. And here is Gack shooting a pair. He may quickly become one of the better big men in the league, Russ.
Well, for big guys to get better, it's no surprise, I suppose, but they have to play, and he didn't play much at Florida, but he's getting all it's like an all you can eat buffet now for Gack.
Rick Roy really went the grad transfer route, bringing in Gack from Florida, Elijah Thomas from St. Mary's. McCants to the rim. He's blocked away by Gack, who is second in the WAC in blocks with 26 now. Elijah Thomas not in the game right now, but he's having a good year after coming in from St. Mary's, where Rick Croy used to be an assistant under Randy Bennett. This is Gack looking backdoor for a Carbone, and apparently nobody touched it. I thought the Aggies tipped it. Yeah, they're going to get some help on the officiating, it looks like.
Oh, C.J. Roberts didn't confess, but I think he tipped it. I think you're correct.
Yeah, that's the right call for sure. Shot clock will stay at 7, though. Anti-Rowell will trigger. On the curl, Rowell to Gack. Leans in and scores right around Johnny McCants.
Rowell is tough, but really a smart play. Just a little 2-man game again.
Tillman defended by Carbone, who's only 6'2", and you have to wonder, why didn't Donnie Tillman try to go after him?
I was just going to say the same thing. And Aggies look a little bit out of sync here. Lancers up 9.
Major mismatch there. And give Carbone credit for standing his ground. Open 3 for Nottage. It's a missed assignment, and the Lancers lead by a dozen. The best three-point shooter in the WAC was left wide open. Timeout, Chris Jans.
Yeah, just a very rare defensive mix-up communications. Was like, who's got Nottage?
That's the one guy in the gym you don't want to miss.
That's exactly right. Although he hasn't had his usual great game today, that's because everybody else is playing so well for California Baptist.
Nottage now has 11, 4 of 5 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3 for Reed Nottage. Do you just need to find a way to chip away here, Russ?
I think so. They're not going to get it all back in one possession. I think you just stick with the game plan and get the ball inside. And when there is the mismatch, they've got to take advantage of it.
Jabari Rice cuts so well away from the ball, and he will head to the free throw line for 2. A lot of time left, and that is not a good sign.
No.
Rice is limping. Remember, he had a foot injury that sidelined him for nearly 2 months, and I think he might have got caught right there with Ty Rowell. And
it looked like he banged his knee. I don't think he twisted it.
Redshirt junior out of Houston was 9 out of 10 in his first 4 games from the free throw line. He's 1 out of 3 in this one. He's limping a bit, Russ. You can tell he's playing through some pain right now.
Yeah, that's not a good sign for the Aggies. And he's got to guard Trey Armstrong, which is not going to be easy to do if his leg's bugging him.
Still finds a way to block it. And Henry's fouled in the backcourt. He had McCants and Rice leaking out. He'll find a way.
You don't think Jabari Rice is playing possum there, do you?
Maybe. I hope so.
Because he sure bounced back pretty quickly.
That was team foul number 3 on CBU. It's an 11-point game. Lancers have outscored the Aggies by 8 in the half, 23-15. The issue has not been offense. The Aggie offense has been pretty good. Not great, but pretty good overall. The defensive struggles have been the issue. Under 10 to shoot. Gilliard, handoff to Wilfred Lakai as he submarined around the defender.
Yeah, brilliant pass by Evan Gilliard. Now the Aggies they've got to start stopping. They've got to stop California Baptist a few times here and get things turned around.
Another long floater try for Armstrong. He's made a few of those. Rice appears to be moving a little bit better. That'll work. And one for the young man out of Houston.
Well, maybe things will shift a little bit here now. You know, watching the Cal Baptist guys warm up, they practice those floaters, and I wonder if it's something Rick Croy teaches. Boy, looking very active, Jabari Rice.
So a few possessions ago, we thought he may have been injured again, and he blocks a shot. Gets a deuce on this end. Now he's going to shoot a free throw, so I guess he's okay, Russ.
Yeah, and I think he just banged the knee. The fear is that he would twist it and do some real damage, but I think he just banged the knee with Ty Rowell. Ty Rowell's got hard knees, I can tell you, right? Even from this distance, Adam, I can tell.
First game of a back-to-back, 2 games in 24 hours. We're back here again tomorrow night, 7 p.m. for the second game of this weekend series. Right now, the Lancers tied for 4th in the WAC at 3-3. Hard to really gauge where the Aggies are because they've only played 2 conference games.
Yeah.
But we should have a better idea after this weekend. There's Rick Croy, the 8th-year Lancers head coach. $14 for Jabari Rice. Just 2 of 4, though, on free throws. Completes the 3-point play. .6-0 Aggie run to pull within 2 possessions. Gilliard really making it tough for the Canadian. Redshirt junior point guard Ty Rowell. Dribble drive for Rowell. Shot was altered and it hit the shot clock.
Well, a pretty good defensive stand by the Aggies there. And still plenty of time left.
It's Gilliard, McCants, Lakai, Henry, and Rice for the Aggies. Rice, a step back long 2, left it short. Picked up by Jabari. He's bumped on his way to the rim. Team foul number 5 for CBU.
I'll tell you, these California Baptist guys are thick, rugged guys. Watch, just bump Jabari Rice, and he goes flying. But great hustle by Jabari Rice to get this one back. Watch him here.
We've heard Christian say before that Jabari has a little bit of Jamario Jones in him. He thinks maybe down the road he could rebound like Jamario did a few years ago.
Well, and he certainly has the nose for the ball. He's not quite as bouncy, but he's a lot better three-point shooter.
Rice isolated here with Thomas. He went with the sky hook. Lakai grabs the offensive rebound. Rice to the rim. Bumps into gap. No call, but he finishes anyway. And he's down.
Boy, that seemed like a foul to me. Geez, I hate to see that with Jabari Rice here. Interesting no call on Gak there. Well, you can just see even with the mask, you can see how concerned Chris Jans is for Jabari Rice. I think it's an ankle sprain.
Yeah, Jabari was hurt early on in the year. He played the first couple games and returned last weekend after missing nearly 2 months with a foot injury. And we thought maybe he tweaked something a few possessions ago, and he's played so well since. You have to wonder about the landing.
Yeah, he must have came down on it. And Gak went straight up there. Jabari was going right at him. But he hits him in the air. I don't know. Or is it a cramp? Has he cramped up maybe?
He was holding his ankle/foot area. Johnny McCants will agree to Mike Anderson, the great trainer for the Aggies, will tend to Jabari.
I could use a Johnny McCants hug once in a while after a difficult English class. I'm going to see if I can get him to after a hard day of English.
Rice has 17, so if he can't return, that's a huge blow. And he was the spark plug during this rally. It's a 4-point game. Gak defended by McNair. And Gorjak Gak has 18. He only averages 13.
Yeah, it's a tough dilemma because when they don't double down on him, he's just free to free to dribble in. Let's see if Will McNair will return the favor here.
Good move.
That's a nice move by Will. Yes, really nice move by Will McNair. It's all a battle for turf. You remember how Ivan Aure-Koechea was always get the ground, and it's always the battle to gain ground.
Fall away for Rao. Gak reaches over the 5'9" Gilliard to grab the miss. And now Gilliard's defending him, and the wing entry is poked away by Roberts. 7:21 left in half two. Lancers 66, Aggies 62. Exciting finish straight ahead. Adam Young and Russ Bradford on hand. Jabari Rice is still getting looked at after getting injured moments ago. His Aggies looking for their first conference win. They trail by 4. Tonight's game is presented by Memorial Medical Center. Find them online at mmclc.org.
Well, Jabari's over there hopping up and down. His shoe is off.
Chris Jans just spoke to him over at the medical table. I don't know, maybe he could return.
Well, sometimes I know this would happen to me, as bad a player as I was. I don't want to compare myself to Jabari. Oh, there's Nottage again. But sometimes you think you've done great damage to your ankle, and it just scares you. If you haven't sprained it badly before, it can really scare you.
And that could be the case, too, for Jabari, who's coming off a foot injury and a pretty serious one not too long ago.
Yeah, they're over there retaping his ankle now. I expect him to be back in.
C.J. Roberts to the rim. He misses the layup try. Transition three for Nottage. They just catch and shoot with no wasted movement.
Boy, and if the Aggies can't find Nottage, it's not going to go well.
Reed Nottage now has a quiet 16 after scoring 26 in the most recent game for CBU. Step back three for Gilliard is short. And it's last touch by Johnny McCants. And all in all, it really hasn't been this breakout shooting game for CBU. They're 6 for 16 from 3, which for their standards is really low. They average 11 made threes per game, and they shoot 40% for the year. So numbers-wise, statistically, the Aggies have kept them in check. Malik Wade is stripped by Evan Gilliard. No numbers, though. McCants is the trailer. Swings it for Roberts. Now Gilliard defended by Nottage. Back outside to Roberts. CJ a step-in three. It's a big one, and he drains it.
Yeah, big shot by CJ Roberts. Aggies are just hovering right around there.
Just the third made three this year for CJ Roberts. Was 0 for 7 in his previous 3 games before tonight. Elijah Thomas trying to get an angle. Floats it over McCants, who was a little bit late on the help side defense.
Every time the Aggies pull closer, it's somebody else on California Baptist comes through. That time it was Phoenix native Elijah Thomas.
Tillman defended by Nottage. That's an offensive foul on Donnie Tillman. Did you see what he did, Russ?
I guess he just bumped him there. I think he maybe, in retrospect, easy for me to say, he waited a little too long. He should have just gone up with it. He was at 4 feet and he wanted a 3-footer.
Yeah, you could see it there, a little bit of a stiff arm with the left arm.
Yeah.
Subtle, but enough to call it for sure. Roberts trying to pick the pocket of Ty Rowell.
Can we find Nottage, please? There we go.
Elijah Thomas checked by Henry. Floats it in. 10 now for Thomas. 4 Lancers in double figures.
Yeah, Elijah Thomas, he's like a power guard.
Lancers average 83.5 points per game. They're already at 75 with 4 and change left to play. CJ Roberts now has 7. He's been a lift off the Aggie bench, and a timeout is called by Chris Jans. It will turn into the media. Aggies down 8, 4:21 left here in El Paso at Eastwood High School.
We're in trouble.
Rick Roy and those Lancers, Russ, every time the Aggies creep in a little bit to 4, 5, or 6, it's Nottage, Armstrong, Gack, Thomas, one of the guys to make a run.
No, that's right. And Rick Roy has him hyper prepared this time. There's no taking New Mexico State lightly after what happened last year. And they've really, I'll tell you what's remarkable, if they're third year in Division I, and they look like they might have a chance to win here at New Mexico State. I mean, I think the program looks good. I've heard it's a beautiful campus.
It is, yep. Beautiful, gorgeous, yeah. They're still not eligible for the NCAA tournament. Still another year left after this one. It's a 4-year transition. This is year 3 for them.
Well, they're definitely headed in the right direction.
21 wins last year. Remember Milan Aqua and how good he was last year?
I know, and they seem to be better. You know, he was a bit of a one-man team at times, and they seem to have better balance this year. As good as he was.
Yeah, Aqua last year was averaging right around 20 per game, and now you just have a bunch of guys bunched around 13 per game for the Lancers, including Rao, who averages almost 14 a game. It's been Gack's nights. Misses off the heel. The Aggies can make it a 2-possession game right here under 4 left. Pick and pop 3 for Johnny McCants, and it's wide right. Foul is called on Donnie Tillman.
I thought Nottage was holding Tillman there, but I might not be the most neutral observer. As we see Donnie Tillman head to the bench.
That's foul number 3 on Tillman. Henry comes in. Henry has 2. Remember, at one point, Henry had 3, and they changed that at halftime to give one of those fouls to McCants. Jabari Rice is also back in. That's a good sign. If not for today, for tomorrow. 3 misses for Ty Rowell, and it's Aggie basketball with 3 1/4 left. You called it. You said Jabari would come back in.
Well, I think I remember this. I've seen it happen before where a guy thinks he's hurt his ankle badly, but it's just a little tweak. But if you're not used to it, it can really scare you.
Rice to McCanty, had an angle on Rowell. He didn't use it, and now he's whistled for an offensive foul. And it sure seemed like Rowell was outside of the restricted arc.
Boy, Ty Rowell is tough. You know, he's battling a guy 6 inches bigger than him. Watch him here. That was the right call. Yeah. I mean, he's got to be on the Canadian national team someday, doesn't he?
You would think so. We talked about that off the air earlier. If you just watch him play once, you realize how much he knows the game, how much he understands the game. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a coach one day. He's
an unusual player, though. He's another power guard like Elijah Thomas. He gets that ball into the paint and just takes his time once he gets in there. Now we see California Baptist spread the floor a little bit.
And now Rowell is whistled for an offensive foul. So,
well, Elvin Gilliard's a fast learner.
Yep.
he just saw Rowell do it at the other end.
Is that his best Sean Buchanan impression?
Well, boy, you know, I was thinking actually during a timeout that the Aggies might need a blend player. They've got, you know, they've got plenty of talent. They just seem out of sync, which is of course what happens when you get to play, you know, as seldom as the Aggies have this year.
Evan Gilliard will go to the free throw line for 1 in the bonus. That was team foul number 7 for CBU. I watched the game from last year against CBU earlier this week, and I forgot how well Sean Buchanan played in that game. I mean, he was hounding Milan Aqua the entire way, and I'm with you. Yeah, he only averaged 2 points per game, but you could really use a guy like Sean Buchanan right now.
Well, he had the Chris Jans value system sort of. He must have had them tattooed on his heart or something, because he really unselfish and tough and smart and understood his role. And I think Chris Jans really got in Sean Buchanan's head. It remains to be seen. There's got to be someone else. A couple other Aggies will have to step up and do that pretty soon.
Second one from Evan Gilliard. 2-possession game. Lancers haven't scored in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. No call. Gilliard was trying to draw a second charge on Ty Rowell. Both teams now in the bonus. Armstrong will launch a 3, and that's a huge one for California Baptist.
Well, one of the Aggie guards went to guard Gack up at the top of the key, and that wasn't the right defensive decision either.
Quick deuce on the other end for Johnny McCants to pull the Aggies within 7. Gack 6'11", so he's able to grab that high pass from Rowell. That was dangerous, but Gack able to catch it.
The Aggies just need a stop here. They don't have to get a steal, just get a stop.
Nottage swishes in the triple. Back-to-back threes from Armstrong and Nottage. 8 made threes now for CBU.
It's going to be uphill now.
Rice bounces to Henry. Floater left shorts. Henry taps it around, grabbed by Thomas.
Yeah, it's not you know, Clayton Henry airballed from 4 feet.
This is exactly what we talked about earlier. Every single time the Aggies made a little bit of a run, Armstrong or Rowell or Gack or Nottage, somebody made a play, and this time it's 2 straight plays. Back-to-back threes for Armstrong and Nottage. That's
right, and I think, you know, it must have been difficult for Chris Jans to prepare our guys. This is a team we destroyed a year ago, but they're much improved.
Jabari Rice will head off. He is moving better, you can tell. First free throw is good for Armstrong. This would be a huge win for Rick Croy. Probably one of his best. Remember that the Lancers did beat the Aggies a few years ago in Riverside in their first WAC game. Evan Gilliard, teardrop, no good. Foul called though. Not sure if that was on the shot, Russ, or if that was away from the ball. Might have been in the box out.
Well, let's see. Let's see what they call here.
Foul Lancers number 12, Gorchak Gak.
Foul is on Gak. It might have been an elbow, which will prompt the officials to check it at the monitor with the Aggies trailing by 11 and under a minute left to go.
Well, and part of what it's these timeouts now, they might seem like it's an uphill battle for the Aggies, but mentally, I think, as we watch the replay here with Evan Gilliard, but mentally, it's going to be crucial what's said in the locker room and what's said in these timeouts, because the Aggies have to bounce back and play again.
Yeah, there was no elbow there.
No.
Foul on Gak, but nothing excessive, so just 1-1. And Johnny McCants is going to be the free throw shooter because he was the one who was fouled by Gak. And it looks like Jabari Rice is done for the night because they're going to ice up his ankle or his foot, whichever part it was that he injured. And then he hope he can go tomorrow.
Yeah. And here comes Wilfred Lakai.
Lakai comes in for Henry. Lakai hasn't played a ton tonight. In fact, he's only played 10 minutes. Will McNair comes in for Johnny McCants. And a foul is called immediately on C.J. Roberts. If you want to search for positives, the offense found their groove. The Aggies made shots. They just could not find a way to get enough stops.
Yeah, could not stop this California Baptist team. And that's Rick Croy's reputation. He's supposed to, he's a X and O wizard. And the Aggies could not find an answer for just the combination of Gak inside. And I think what happened is they established the tone early, got the ball to Gak the first few possessions for easy baskets. And now suddenly everything opens up from the outside as well. Not suddenly, but gradually.
A reminder that tonight's game has been presented by Memorial Medical Center. Find them online at mmclc.org. Ty Rowell with only 8, 2 of 12 from the field, but he has had 8 helpers. He has facilitated very well in this game. Lakai launches, rebound for Rowell. Defended by Dokes into the front court. The Aggies not fouling yet. About a 9-second difference, game clock, shot clock. What a win this is for CBU. This will be their second win against the Aggies since joining the WAC, and for a transitioning school, that's quite impressive.
Yeah, it's a great win for California Baptist. And again, there's not going to be much time to sulk in the locker room for New Mexico State, and it's probably a mistake for California Baptist to celebrate too much. They both have to play again tomorrow.
No sleep for the coaches. A lot of adjustments will be made from tonight into tomorrow. Second free throw for Elijah Thomas, the grad transfer from St. Mary's. It swirls off. 20 seconds remaining. This is Gerald Dokes. Misses on the layup try. Putback is good for Wilfred Lakai. Only 4 tonight for Lakai in limited action. And the Lancers will dribble it out. They get back on the winning side after losing last Saturday against Dixie State. They have now won 6 of 7 And the Aggies fall to 0-3 in the WAC. Third straight loss for the Aggies. Surprising, but if you want to look for positives, the offense was good tonight.
No, that's right. And no one has been hampered by the virus and facilities and traveling around like the Aggies have. And so it's no surprise that they're out of sync.
85-75 is our final score. The new Senda Credit Union postgame show will come your way next from El Paso.